Okay, so we're going to just take a look at describing the data a little bit more, and this time we're going to do it visually. It's very, very helpful to do things visually. It gives you a good sense of how the data is structured. So I went ahead and bolded the labels at the top here. We're also just going to go ahead and put another set of labels down right above row 7. So insert one row above, right-click insert row above, Control V to paste in our labels. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull down this divider down below my label. So now I have a nice scroll just for the data, and then we have our statistical measures just a little bit above, measures above there. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just do a nice, just a histogram of rainfall. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to highlight rainfall. So I'm going to click at the label in row 7. I'm going to scroll down, hold down the shift key and click in row 144. And then I'm going to go ahead and click insert chart. Okay. And basically it's going to give me histogram of rainfall 2007. Okay, so that's my initial chart. I can go ahead and do select data range again. Okay, so it gives me that initial data range. Now I want to add additional ranges. Okay, so I want to add another range. It's going to be the same numbers, right? So I'm just going to Control C, Control V to copy and paste, and I'm going to go ahead and do column D as well. So we have D7 to D144. I'm also going to add another range. In this case, we just want to do our mean, right? So we want to do our rainfall and rainfall mean, just to kind of, be kind of interesting. So that's G. So G7 and G144. And click OK. All right, we're also going to edit this. So we're going to go to customizations. We're just going to do a histogram of rainfall. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and click insert. And we're going to wait just a second. Okay, so we scrolled back up to the top, and there's our histogram of rainfall. We want to go ahead and move to own sheet. Okay, so we're just going to move to own sheet, and we're going to then notice how that just creates this histogram of rainfall, right? So that's basically what we have. So notice now it's gone off this off of our data sheet, right? In this case, we're going to click on this chart 3. We're going to rename it. And we're going to call it histogram rainfall. And what does a histogram show us? Well, what a histogram shows us is that during these years, so we say the histogram of rainfall, right? We say that each one of these bars, right? So rainfall 2007, 2012, and the mean, right, are the 3 bars. Okay, so this is the count, right? So essentially between 0 and 150, rainfall 2007 had about almost 10, right? Between 5 and 10. Okay, rainfall 2012 had that many records. So we're saying how many records fell between these numbers, right? So for example, rainfall 2012 had 20 records that were at 600. Right, between 6 and 750, right? Okay, so this is 600. So notice that the zeros are corresponding with the blue right there. And we can edit it to make it look a little bit better. So we can do advanced edit. Notice that these are overlapping down at the bottom right here. The data labels are overlapping, so we can make it a lot easier to understand by changing the size of the labels there. And we're in edit mode, so Let's just go ahead and change that so we can actually in edit, see this button up here, we can actually go into edit mode and we can just go ahead and change the size down to 7. Okay, and that gives us a real help, right? We need to kind of be able to see it, but not too much. Okay, and then we want to do advanced edit again. I actually like it with the item dividers myself. And I like to stack it. So that's just me. We don't have to stack it. We can also change the axis, right? Okay, that's a little bit easier to see there. Okay, so essentially we're counting, so in a particular bucket, we're counting how many were in that bucket. So for example, these 3 lines, these first 3 lines represent how many were between 0 and 150. So the bucket size here is 150. So in this case, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 records in 2007 that were between 0 and 150. In this case, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records from 2007 that were between 900 and 1050. Okay, so this kind of tells us it basically tells us the distribution of our data, right? How many records for a particular series were within that particular bucket. The buckets in this case are 150 in size. Okay, so let's go ahead and make another histogram. In this case, let's go ahead and do life expectancy. So we're going to go ahead and highlight life for 2007. Click on our chart. And it's going to do histogram again. In this case, we want to do F and H. Okay, so we're going to add 2 ranges. And we're going to go ahead and Control-C, Control-V. And we're going to change the E to F, right? So we're going to go F7 to F144. And we're going to go H7 to H144. Oops, careful when you're editing here. If you delete that, that's an exclamation point. This character right here is an exclamation point. That tells us that it's a data series, right? Okay, so we have columns E, F, and H. Okay, so we have E, F, and H. Those are all our life columns. And we're starting at record 7 and we're going down to record 144 in each column. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And we're going to click Insert. And just like before, we're going to go ahead and make this its own page, right? So we're going to go Move to Own Sheet. And we're going to call this histogram. Oops. Histogram. Life. Okay, we're going to edit the title. Notice that in this edit mode, if I click to view mode, then I can't edit, right? If I click over on this button to edit mode, then I can go in and I can edit the title and whatnot. So in this case, we're going to go histogram of life. We're going to add expectancy. And I really can't spell NC. I probably spelled that wrong. So there we go. So that's life expectancy, right? So in this case, this blue line says that um, that 25 people, right? I'm sorry, the 25 records from the 2007, 25 records in the 2007 set of data had values between 72 and 74. So that's what that is saying right there. Okay, and notice the 72, it's hard to read on this. So notice that the 72 corresponds to this white dividing line between the yellow here and the blue here. Notice that the middle of the 72 is right between that. The middle of the 74 is right between that yellow and blue. So it's the 72 to 74 refers to these three columns right here. Just because it's kind of difficult to see that. Okay, one last chart type that we're going to add. And we're going to go ahead and make a scatter plot, okay? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and highlight both the rainfall mean and life mean. Okay, so then this is the chart we're actually going to relate the two sets of data. And we're going to be able to easily visually see that, whether they're correlated or not. Okay, so go ahead and rainfall mean, life mean, click insert chart. Okay, it's going to give us the scatter plot, right? Okay, customization. Okay, it asks us if we want a trend line. Let's say trend line, we want, let's say linear or polynomial. Okay, that's your choice. Okay, they're all very similar. Let's just put linear. Okay, we're not going to put in error bars. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click insert. All right, we're going to click and we're going to go ahead and say move to own sheet. And it's in edit mode, so we're going to go ahead and change this trend line. We're going to make it a little bit thicker and we're going to make it red. Okay. All right, so you can see that we have, I mean, you know, there's very little correlation here, right? Okay, but it's very easy to see once we have it on a scatter plot. So, okay, so those are our three charts that we did. There's lots of other charts you can do in here, but these are kind of three basic charts. Let me go ahead and change my. So we're going to say life expectancy versus rainfall scatter plot. Okay. All right. So those are kind of two good types of charts that will let us kind of look at our data and see what's going on with it. So so good luck in making your charts.